Find a comfortable place to sit down where you can sit undisturbed for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. Make sure that you sit with your back straight and tall. Imagine that there's a string attached to the top of your head and somebody's pulling that string up toward the ceiling. You're just getting your back straight and tall, and that's the most important part of the posture, which allows your mind to stay focused, attentive, and present. And now, once you've found your comfortable seat, close your eyes and pay attention to your breathing. Notice how the breathing is coming in and out of your body. Notice how when you inhale through your nostrils, your torso inflates like a balloon. And when you exhale through your nostrils, your torso deflates like a balloon. So try a few slow inhales and exhales. Inflating like a balloon, deflating like a balloon. The body is always breathing, but we're not always aware of it. We're not always mindful of the experience of breathing. And in this meditation, in this mindfulness of breathing meditation, we're going to be mindful of the experience of breathing. And this will help to train the attention, to train the brain to focus on what we want it to focus on, rather than getting distracted by every little thing that comes up into your sphere of consciousness. So as we continue to be aware of the breathing, as we continue to feel the air coming in through the nostrils and going out through the nostrils, as we continue to feel the chest inflating and deflating like a balloon, we will occasionally notice things that arise in our sphere of consciousness that might distract us from the experience of breathing. You may hear a sound. You may have a thought that arises in your mind. You may feel a sensation in your body. These things can all distract us from the experience of breathing, right here and right now. And when one of those distractions arises, when one of those stimuli arises, Just continue to be aware of the breathing coming in and out of your body. Did you get distracted by that sound? It's okay to hear the sound. Of course, we must hear the sound. We cannot avoid hearing. We cannot avoid thoughts arising in our minds or sensations arising in our bodies. That's just how consciousness works. We are aware of the things that happen around us and inside of us. The trick to meditation is not blocking those things out or avoiding them. The trick to meditation is remaining centered and allowing all of those distractions to be, just to come up and be as they are and then disappear when they disappear, without holding on to them, without trying to grab onto them and follow them. So if you have a thought that arises in your mind, instead of grabbing onto it and trying to follow it down the rabbit hole, instead of making it into a thought chain or a train of thought, just allow the thought to come up and then to disappear on its own without grabbing onto it, without trying to hold onto it or to make it into something important. Just let it come up and disappear. And the entire time we keep the mind centered on the breathing. In moments of silence, it is easy for the mind to drift away. It's easy for the mind to grab onto a subtle thought and then follow it. We must be vigilant to keep the mind centered and focused on what we want to be focused on. Keeping the mind focused here and now in the breathing. And notice on every inhale and exhale, at the end of the inhale, at the end of the exhale, as you transition from one to the other, notice those spaces where the air is no longer coming in or going out, but is still for a moment. Rest in those spaces. Be aware of every moment of the fluid inhale and the fluid exhale, and the entire process as one fluid, circular process. And if in any moment you find that your mind has wandered from the breathing, take note of what it is that distracted you, a thought or a sensation, and then just let it go. And smile. Don't judge yourself for being distracted. Don't judge your mind for generating or following thoughts. That's its job. That's what it does. Instead, be grateful to have this opportunity to be aware of what your mind is doing unconsciously, what your unconscious mind is doing. As we continue to watch the breathing, as we continue to watch the air flowing in and out of the nostrils, and the chest inflating and deflating like a balloon, the entire torso inflating and deflating like a balloon. We can use this moment to rest our minds, which are often so busy with thinking all the time. To rest from the constant need to do and to think and to be moving all the time. Take this moment just to come back to stillness. to the fundamental stillness of the fabric of reality from which all of this universe and movement and existence springs. Just watching the chest and the belly, the entire torso inflating and deflating, inflating and deflating. And anytime the mind becomes distracted, just smile. Make a mental note of what it was that distracted you in order to become more aware of your unconscious mind. And then just let it go. Coming back peacefully and happily to the breathing. And you can continue this practice with or without this recording. In any moment, whether you're sitting quietly or walking around, you can be aware of your breathing. You can be aware of the air flowing in and out of the nostrils. You can be aware of the torso inflating and deflating. This mindfulness of breathing will help keep you grounded, will help keep you centered, no matter what it is you're doing. And this can be especially useful in those moments of difficulty and trouble and struggle and anxiety. When you're doing something that is difficult or stressful, you can just come back to the breathing. And you know that everything is okay. This is one of the most basic and fundamental meditation techniques, mindfulness of breathing, just being aware of the air flowing in and out of your body. And with just this simple technique, you can dive very deeply into the spiritual realms, into the realization of existence itself, the fundamental fabric of reality. With just this, sitting and watching your breathing. That's all you need. So if you take one practice with you into your life, going forward from here into the future, Make it mindfulness of breathing. Try to find 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and in the evening to just sit down and be aware of your breathing. Watching the air flowing in and out of your body. And letting go of any distracting thoughts or sensations that arise. And remember to practice in daily life as well. Make it a challenge to yourself to remain aware of your breathing for as long as you can after you get up from this meditation session. So don't just get up and go back to what you were normally doing. When you get up from this meditation, remain aware of your breathing. Remain aware of the air flowing in and out of your body. And go about the rest of your day. And whenever you notice that you've been distracted from your experience of breathing, whenever you notice that your mind has been pulled in some other direction, just smile the same way that you did in this meditation and make a note of what it was that distracted you. And then just gently come back to your breathing. And continue doing whatever it was that you were doing, but with a little smile, knowing that you found your center again. And you may find that the things that you do in daily life actually go much better when you're centered and grounded and attentive to the present moment. So once again, note where your mind is. Where is your mind right now? Is it absorbed in the breathing? Or has it become distracted by thought? Either way, continue from this point with a smile, watching your breathing. Absorbed in your breathing. And now, expanding the sphere of awareness just from the breathing into the entire body. Filling the body with consciousness. We are aware of the entire body. We're aware of everything from the legs and the torso and the arms up into the head, allowing it all to be, relaxing into your experience, even if that experience is painful or if your legs are asleep or anything like that. Just being aware of the entire body, sitting here in this moment, watching its breathing. Being aware of the entire body in this moment as it watches itself breathe. And as you remain aware of your entire body, being aware of this human being sitting here, watching itself breathing, bring your attention into your eyelids, into your eyeballs, where if your eyes are closed, you may notice that even though your eyes are closed, you can still see the inside of your eyelids. You might see some patterns of light, or you might see just one solid color. It might be solid black. It might be a little bit orange from the light that filters through your eyelids. It might be a little grainy, or it might be completely smooth. But just bring your attention to the entire visual field inside of your eyelids as you sit here and continue to watching yourself breathing. As you continue to be aware of the entire body. Just be aware of your visual field as well, and your auditory experience as well. The sphere of sound, the sounds vibrating your eardrums. And become aware of smell and taste, even if it's just the smell of your bedroom and the taste of the inside of your mouth. Just being aware of all the senses of the body now. Just absorbed completely in the experience of being here in this body. And as you remain aware of the entire body and all the senses, and the light on the inside of the eyelids, allow your eyelids to drift open ever so slowly, just drifting open and remaining aware of your entire body breathing. Allowing yourself to remain in that state of presence and consciousness and awareness. Being here. And the visual field is just part of that experience. And in this way we can wake up back into the world without going back into our habitual patterns of anxiety. We can approach life from this meditative state. Take it with you as you get up from this meditation into whatever activity you're doing next. And be aware that it will fade at some point, and you will be back in normal everyday life. But the more you practice meditating on a daily basis, the more deeply you'll be able to bring this into your daily life. And your ability to maintain this meditative state will become stronger and stronger, so that when you get up now, maybe you'll have 2 minutes of this meditative state before you get distracted and pulled into your normal everyday state. But if you keep practicing, it'll be 3 minutes and 4 minutes and 5 minutes, and it will eventually get to the point where your entire life is enveloped in this kind of meditative state. So now, as you prepare to get up and go about the rest of your day, bring the mind once again back into the breathing, back into the body, back into the experience of being here in this moment. And as you stand up and go back into the rest of your day, bring it with you. Maintain the awareness of the breathing and the body for as long as you can. Good luck to you. May you be well. Namaste.